Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph. As you guys already know, love this asset. I'm very bullish on it still, as you know, a lot of people are kind of fading away. They don't really want to, be holding it anymore. The price action hasn't been great, blah blah blah. We hear it all the time. And we're going to really kind of talk about that and actually discuss many things in regards to the correlation between Hedera Hashgraph and what could actually be happening very soon. Excuse me. So before we fully jump into this video, I just want to ask if you guys have been enjoying the daily crypto news and all that kind of stuff, definitely hit that like, subscribe, and also turn notifications on button, as it does help the channel grow immensely and you guys never miss an update. So let's talk about the overall market. So let's refresh. Again, we're kind of just ranging on, especially considering the fact that today is the weekly candle close. We are going to be watching this fairly closely as we do range on. I've already addressed this, but we do see, Bitcoin kind of just, doing this little bit of a, 60.5K retest. We're watching this closely if that does get broken or if we do break below 60K. I've always said that we could possibly see 53K on the boards, upwards of almost 56K possibly. It all depends on where Bitcoin really kind of, ranges and wants us. Now, in terms of Hedera Hashgraph, where could we be retesting? Where could we go? Well, Hedera Hashgraph, again, I know a lot of people have been, disgruntled with the price action lately, and, they don't, think that it's going to go anywhere. They're whatever, We're going to watch for the 36 centile range to be broken, and that's where we really kind of capitalize on some low prices. For an example, on the 3-month span, every single time that 36 cents was broken, for example, here is that 36 cents being broken here. We retest a little bit lower, somewhere around the 35 centile range to even as low as 32 cents. So watch for about 33 to 36 cents being retested if Bitcoin does go that low. Bitcoin dominance is roughly around 45.1%. So we're watching things closely as Ethereum even actually pulls more, attention to the dominance factors up above, 19%. I'm watching this closely because I do think that alts are closing the gap on their major breakout events. I think Hbar, for what it's worth, has been making its lower lows higher now. So we are ranging on higher lows every single time that we do range a little bit lower. Like right now, we go from the bottom candle down here, right? This was around the 30 centile range. This was around the 32 centile range. This was around the 35 centile range. So right now, we could be seeing, right now we're retesting 37 cents, but we are, ranging a little bit here between the 30 centile range and almost 36. So we're watching that closely, but we are in a massive, sideways momentum sort of trade. So I'm watching this, until we do get that major breaking point above 46 cents. So with that being said, let's talk about the feature of Hbar. So first off, we're going to be addressing this little bit of a meme here. We do see here, and this is what I've been talking about in terms of holding, certain assets. In 1903, Henry Ford's lawyer, was advised not to buy stock in Ford. The horse is here to stay, he went, told by a local bank president. He bought $5,000 worth of stock and sold it in 1919 for $12.5 million. Of course, this did take him 16 years to get to that point of $12.5 million. Now, of course, back in 1919, $12.5 million is absolutely insane, especially when we're talking about the, inflation rates on, money and stuff. So when we're talking about what's happening right now, would I be comparing Hedera Hashgraph to Ford stock? Not exactly, but I would say this. When we are holding stock in terms of anything, if we are buying an altcoin, we understand the patience behind it, the overall factors behind it, the entire mission statement behind it. And when we figure that out and we actually do the research and we understand, all right, this has a ton of upside potential, and you buy it, no matter what anybody tells you, right? His lawyer advised him not to buy it. He said, you know what, we're going to buy it anyways. That's the basis there. We see a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people saying, why are we buying, Hbar? It's a stable coin. It's going to be at 37 cents forever. It's not going anywhere. Then when it does launch, we will pretty much be capitalizing in on those massive gains. And that's where a lot of people will say, wow, patience does pay off. And it is the patience game. This is patience. This is 16 years of turning 5K to 12.5 million. Now, honestly speaking, in 16 years on Hbar, we could be turning $5,000 into $50 million plus, depending on how high this market really does appreciate greatly, which I do think that it's a very, very bright future in terms of a utility-driven market. Now, we also see here all my crypto friends are laughing at me because my Hbar bags won't pump. They called it a corporate centralized garbage coin. They don't know. They haven't even watched a bajillion hours of Lehman vids. One day soon, he'll wipe the stupid smile from their stupid faces for good. And I know that this is just a little bit of a meme, but it is true, right? It goes back to this. A lot of people are saying, it's just this, it's that. Everybody has an opinion on an asset. But when we're talking about that major breakout point, which we are nearing, and when we're talking about the massive use cases behind Hbar, this is truly the elephant in the room. And I do think that at some point in time, we could really replace, or I should say, be valued at more than Ethereum and possibly even Bitcoin as well. I've said it multiple times. Why aren't we a $1 trillion asset? The GC members alone are $2.5 trillion in terms of value. They're transacting on a day-to-day basis over Hedera, not the GC member, but just use cases in general. We're seeing, Hbar scale at massive rates in terms of transactional volume. There is no reason for it not to be worth a massive amount of money. And a lot of people will say, well, it's the team dumping their coins, blah, blah, blah. It's all FUD. Like, there's so much FUD behind a lot of assets in this space, and we hear it all the time. But this is what I think about when I think about, a lot of these things. Crypto, I think about Hbar, adoption, Hbar, high speed, Hbar, low cost, Hbar, security, Hbar, CBDC, Hbar, NFT, Hbar, green tag, Hbar, trust, Hbar. And this is the truth, right? Honestly, I go on a day-to-day basis, and I'm just like, wow, I wonder how easy this would be streamlined if it was building on something like Hbar. I do it all day long. It's honestly the same thing that how I do when I spend money and I'm just like, wow, I could have got this much Hbar for this much, that I just spent. I do it all the time because this is, at the end of the day, the thing that I'm focused on the most. Crypto has taken up such a big chunk of my life because I honestly think that this is such a massive freedom market. This is the market where it provides you with financial freedom to do whatever you want with your time, and it allows you to really become, who you want to be. This allows you to take the time away to focus on yourself, to benefit yourself, to spend more time with people who you love and stuff like that. That is financial freedom. That's what this market is providing on a day-to-day basis. You see it all the time. Even Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu right now is pumping. It's doing absolutely massive numbers on the 24-hour span. Let's just look at it. Up 37.53%. Altcoins like this are going to do this. We're going to see these massive gains throughout the year all day long. Look at these massive gains. I don't have to tell you guys that these are incredible assets that are going to continue to provide immense value, but all this value will flow into other altcoins that haven't been moving. Now we also see here 6 world records by Hedera, most used ledger on planet Earth, first carbon negative ledger, 1,372 record TPS on mainnet, biggest governing council, $2.5 trillion market cap, first bank, SB Group on the governing council, first ABFT consensus protocol. There is so much, and we even see our biggest ecosystem development fund, $5 billion at time of announcement. There is so much going on behind closed doors with, Hbar, and I think that it's truly going to be very, very interesting when this does, really unlock that true value. We do see here, oh yes, and look at this. Perfect retest of 41 cents in terms of resistance, but once we do break out of this, and again, when we're talking about those low prices down here, that is ranging around that 33 centile range. We could be retesting and bouncing off of it and kind of retesting this until we do really break above 46 cents. I've always said watch for 46 cents to be retested because that is the key moment in time for Hbar. We also see our speculation time Guardian Showcase by ENV_blockchain. Looks to be using Microsoft for digital ID, Hedera for DLT, and Dovu official for CO2 offsets with Hbar to fuel the system. Hello future, int work all. Check out the video and links below. And if we do look here, Hedera Microsoft partner, Salesforce partner as well. This is through Guardian Showcase. We do see here Interwork Alliance. I've always said that Interwork Alliance is such a massive, overall company that is pretty much, partnered with major projects out there like Hbar that also have connections to Microsoft and multiple major other companies. Also, when we're talking about Microsoft, I think Microsoft has so many connections to Hbar itself. I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft was the next GC member, to be honest with you. Now we also see here video, and again, this is kind of breaking down that Dovu. I'm personally not going to watch this video because I just don't, have the time for it in this video itself. But when we're talking about this is massive use cases that are going to be unlocked. If Microsoft is using digital ID, that's pretty crazy. Now we do see here Hedera for the DLT. That's the end goal here. And this is Envision blockchain. So, when we're talking about that Guardian showcase and we're talking about the breadcrumbs with Microsoft, with Hedera, there's so many of them. We go all the way back to MTech with it. We talk about how it could be utilized, how it could be working with, Hbar. It would not surprise me at this point. Now, we also see our Amex CEO. If you guys don't know who Amex is, it's American Express. Says crypto is unlikely a threat to traditional credit cards. Crypto, though, can make cross-border payments a lot seamless, or a lot more seamless, he said. And this is talking about the future of where we really get to. Traditional credit card payments will hold firm amid the growth of cryptocurrencies. American Express CEO Stephen Squeri predicted on the company's third quarter earnings call Friday. Unlike crypto, traditional credit cards offer clients reward service, ability to disputing charges, along with the ability to extend credit. I still think that there's a lot of these use cases within this market as well. Even when we're talking about ACH is providing digital credit cards and debit cards to crypto holders, and you can pretty much do all of this as well. Now we do say he says cryptocurrency much more, or he sees cryptocurrency much more as an asset class at the time, adding clients don't use Amex to buy stock and doesn't see them focusing on buying crypto either. He also said he sees a role for digital currencies, however, adding they make cross-border payments a lot more seamless, and that is the end goal. Also, we do see here the biggest role in the space is in the NFT and stablecoins universes. We do see here citing the card's usage to buy digital collectibles such as an NBA Top Shot. Now, when we're talking about those cross-border payments, that's really all that matters anyways from these major crypto or credit card companies and these major banks as well. When we're talking about those cross-border payments, Hedera is focused on that aspect as well. We even see our digital transaction values could reach $6.7 trillion globally. That's just for payments alone. That's not even talking about cross-border payments. Cross-border payments are an astronomical market. I've discussed it multiple times regarding XRP, but we do see here both HBARs and Hedera token service issue tokens take seconds to settle on par with the Visa network. We are already outscaling debit cards and even credit cards, so we really don't care for having something like Amex utilize Hedera for any sort of credit card use case, but we do care in terms of cross-border payments because that could be a very significant use case. And of course, we already have all the bases, for that. And when we're talking about tokenization, I think everything will be tokenized at some point in time, even credit. So, I think a lot of these companies will most likely have to adapt, or they'll essentially fade out in terms of use. And I think that the future really does look like a digitized world under Hedera, because I think Hedera is the heart of Web 3.0. I also think it is the heart of digitization and tokenization. Of course, there's a lot of other assets within this space. I've already talked about QNT and how big QNT is going to be. If QNT could leverage or, work with Hedera at some point in time, which we've already talked about Hyperledger possibly working with QNT or Hyperledger Basu as well. That's huge. I think a lot of these major DLTs are going to be connected somehow anyway. So, when we're talking about the future, I think a lot of these assets that we're talking about on a day-to-day basis in terms of DLT technologies, I think they're all going to be connected through a massive bridge, and I think that QNT is that bridge anyway. So with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.